Hello and welcome, Cassidy here with Marina Bay Yoga. Today we have a Yin Yoga class for your hips. I would suggest bringing a pillow or blanket and potentially blocks if you have them, or just a couple extra pillows for your practice today. We're going to begin lying flat on the back. You can get comfortable and relax all the way down. Extend your legs straight out to the ground and bring one hand to your heart, one to your belly. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth and let out a big sigh. Another breath in through your nose. Open your mouth, exhale, and relax your shoulders all the way down. One more deep breath in through the nose, fill up all the way. And when you get to the top of your breath, take in one more sip of air. Open your mouth, exhale, and let something go. Allow your lips to come together and your breath to move in and out of your nose freely and at its own pace. As you settle in, take a moment to consider your intention for today's practice. You might think about this as something that you want to focus on to remain present and grounded. It can be one word, a short phrase, anything that draws you back to this present moment. As we move throughout this Yin Yoga practice, you'll notice that we will stay in each pose for a little over 20 breaths. Oftentimes this will lead to about 3 to 5 minutes. I want you to notice your body as we move through the poses, and if there's any pain, you're going to come out of it. Otherwise, see if you can settle into the pose just a little bit deeper, allowing your body to relax and finding that edge of discomfort. Draw your focus back to your intention and take 3 more deep breaths here. On your next inhale, walk your feet in towards your glutes. Rearrange. If your head was on a pillow, you can move it out of the way. Take your arms out to a T and let your shoulders relax all the way down into the ground. Draw your knees to your chest and find a little rock left and right, massaging the hips. Lift the hips and take your knees all the way to the right side. You are welcome to use the pillow or the blanket underneath your legs to bring a little support and relieve some of the tension, softening the stretch. Turn your nose to point towards your left hand. Take a big inhale. And on your exhale, start to soften through the left shoulder, the left side of the chest. Relax through the right side of your neck and all the way down the left side. Take another big breath in. And on your exhale, find 3 more places to soften. Today we will practice counting backwards with our breath, allowing the body to settle in just a little deeper. In this pose, we're going to count backwards from 20, taking in a big inhale. And let each exhale be nice and slow, letting your body soften down. Starting with 20 on the exhale, take a big inhale. Exhale, 19. Inhale. Exhale, 18. Continuing all the way to 1. And when you get to 1, notice how your body feels. Observe the experience and allow yourself to settle in just a little deeper. Release one more big exhale and feel the body. Notice what's happening. Notice where you've softened. And on your next inhale, you're going to take your left hand over towards your knees and assist yourself to draw your knees all the way up to your chest. The temptation will be to do a lot of rocking, but I want you to see how it feels to just be and let your body respond. Finding stillness here with the knees to the chest, and then take your arms out to a T. If you're utilizing one pillow or one blanket, you can move it to the other side so that it comes under your left knees as you take them all the way to the left side. Turn your nose and look towards your right hand. Getting situated, changing anything that needs to be changed. And we want to draw that right shoulder all the way down to the ground. Take another big inhale. And after you get situated, take a big exhale and let your body settle into stillness, finding 3 places to soften and relax. We will begin counting backwards here, starting with 20 on your next exhale, taking yourself all the way to 1. As you move through each exhale, notice how the body softens and releases. Notice how gravity takes over, and you're able to just simply be here. As you make your way to 1, let out a big exhale, your biggest exhale yet, and let the whole body grow heavy. Taking a moment to notice the difference on this side. Notice how the right side body feels as it expands and opens. Notice how the left side of the neck feels as it relaxes down even further. Honoring the difference without trying to judge it or explain it away. Letting yourself simply feel what's happening. On your next inhale, bring your right hand to your knees, assist your knees back to your chest. Drawing the knees in, take a moment to just pause, feeling the right, feeling the left. On your next exhale, you're going to bring the bottoms of the feet down. They can come together and let your knees open wide. There's an option here to bring a pillow or blanket under your hips and low back as extra support. Feel free to slide it under and resituate however you need to feel most supported in both your hips and your low back here. Once you get comfortable, bring one hand to your heart and one to your stomach. And draw all your attention to your navel, following the rise of your belly as you take a breath in, and following the fall of your belly as you take a breath out. Begin your exhale counts backwards, starting at 20, going all of the way to 1. And as you count backwards with your breath, notice what happens through the hips and through the breath. Taking a deep inhale and release, exhale. Another deep inhale and exhale, release. Bring your hands behind your knees, draw your knees together. Feel that rebound effect and take any movement that you need here. Your knees might naturally want to rock left and right like a windshield wiper. You can take your feet out to the edge of the mat, out wide, and let the knees go left and right, finding that stretch through the quad. And just leaving space here for any other movement that your body is requesting, even if you're not sure if it's a pose. When you feel satisfied, draw your knees up to your heart, give yourself a loving hug, and slowly make your way to one side, moving the pillow or the blanket out of the way. You're also welcome to use a blanket under your knees here. We are headed into frog pose. If you'd like to take the blanket and place it on top of your mat to support your knees, feel free to. You can turn on your mat, bring hands off the mat, keep knees on the mat. And we're going to turn the toes out to the side and slowly walk your knees away from each other. So you're moving from tabletop into frog pose. Hips are going to stay in line with your knees. Heels stay soft and in line with your knees as well. So you're making like a 90-degree angle with every part of your body here. Option to stay up on your hands, come down onto your elbows, or even take your arms straight and let your forehead relax down on the ground. You can always bring something soft to relax your forehead on. And let out a big exhale, soften. We will take 10 breaths here, and you can begin to count back from 10 all the way to 1, noticing how your body feels as you settle back in. When you get to 1, take a big breath out. Check in with your hips, with your shoulders. And when you're ready, start to walk your hands back in, pressing up onto your hands or your elbows at first, and then lifting yourself all the way back up to tabletop. Taking your time here, nice and gentle through the shoulders, through the hips, inching your knees back together. Turn back onto your mat and go ahead and sit on your shins, relaxing the ankles, feeling that nice big opening through the front of the ankles. Roll your shoulders back and down, and then interlace your hands behind your back. Look up towards the ceiling, find a gentle arch, and then draw your arms away from you. Draw your chin to your chest. Make your way back to a tabletop, moving the pillow and blanket just to your side. Once you're in tabletop, hands under shoulders, knees under hips, extend your right leg back and then start to draw your right knee towards the right wrist. Right ankle is going to come towards the left wrist. Options for support here are underneath the right knee or underneath the right glute. Your left leg stays straight back. This is our pigeon pose. If there is pressure under the left knee, you can bring a small blanket or small pillow. You can also tuck your toes and gently lift the knee up. We're working towards getting the right shin parallel to the front of the mat, but it doesn't have to be a perfect line. More so, you want to be centered through the center of your hips, left leg long, right leg underneath you, so that when you start to walk your hands forward, you're centered. You're not leaning to the right or to the left, but you're directly over that right leg. Before you lower down, walk your hands back, lifting all the way up, and then start to make your way forward, either onto your elbows, or if it feels good in your body, you can take your arms straight out in front of you and even relax your forehead down to the ground. Take a moment to feel what option feels best for you. It can take some time to get the pillow or the support in the right spot for the right side. It can also take some time to decide what variation with your arms feels best today. Give yourself permission to find what feels best to you. And then once you get there, find stillness. Let your body settle in. The urge to move around in this pose is quite strong. The invitation is to settle and find stillness. As long as there's no pain, letting that edge of discomfort be there and breathe through it. On your next inhale, begin to walk your hands up beside you, right hand on right side, left hand on left side, lifting your heart, extending your spine long, sitting up straight through the middle of your legs. Hands press down onto the earth. Bend your left knee, send your right leg back, and take a moment to shake out that right leg. Any wiggles, bends, shakes that it needs, opening up the hip to the side, and then bring the right leg down. Inhale, look up, belly comes towards the ground, head rises, shoulders and hips rise, arch the back. Exhale, head comes down, round out your spine. Taking a few more cat-cows here to shake out the spine. And when you're ready, come back to center, back to tabletop. Take your left leg straight back behind you. And on your exhale, draw the left knee forward to the left wrist and the left foot towards the right hand. Good. Use the blanket or the pillow under your hips or under your knee. Find the spot that helps you feel most centered over your body. Take the right leg straight back behind you. Walk your hands back, lift up nice and tall. And when you're ready, on your exhale, start to walk your hands forward. Come down to your elbows or take your arms straight out. Taking your time to find the option that works best for you. It might be completely different than the right side. Give yourself permission to just be, to celebrate whatever this side wants to do, whatever feels best on this side. And come back to your breath. Notice how you feel on this side as you settle in. And when you're ready, begin to walk your hands back up, lifting your heart, centering back over your legs. Send your left leg back. Open up the hip, shake out the left leg, anything that feels good on the left side. Trusting and listening to your body. We're going to bring the big toes together, knees open towards the edge of your mat. Your pillow or blanket can come in between your knees and send your hips all the way back to your heels. Take a deep breath in and start to walk your hands forward, relaxing over the blanket or pillow, coming into child's pose. As you settle in here, start to count backwards from 20 with each exhale. When you get to 1, notice how the body feels. Notice what's happening with gravity here. On your next inhale, come back to tabletop, move the pillow or blanket out of the way, and make your way all the way to your back. Keep your knees bent and your feet close to your glutes. Once you lay all the way back, we're going to take the right foot to the left knee, coming to figure 4. You can stay here and let your arms relax by your side, or you can wrap your arms around the left leg, either behind the thigh or behind the shin. Taking whichever option feels best to you, and then finding a little rock left and right, massaging out the hips. Pausing here for a moment to feel, to notice, and to check in. What is going on in your mind? Where are your thoughts going in your practice today? Allow yourself to notice it without judgment. And then bring your attention back to your breath, back to the rise and fall of your body as you take air in and let air out. Softening in the shoulders and letting your body grow even more heavy here. On your next exhale, release your hands, bringing your left foot down to the ground. Take your arms out to a T, coming back to your original figure 4. Take a deep breath in and a slow breath out. Take the structure of your legs as they are and bend all the way towards the left side, looking towards your right hand. Similar to the supine twist that we started with, except this time the right knee is pointed upwards and the left knee is pressing against the right foot, drawing the focus to the outside of the right hip. Take another big inhale, and on your exhale, soften the right shoulder. Allow your body to settle in and begin your count backwards from 20 all the way to 1. When you get to 1, bring that structure back up to center. Uncross your right leg and take your left foot to your right knee. Pausing here in figure 4, allow yourself to just be here for a moment, feeling the difference. Staying here if it feels good, or you can take your hands around the right thigh or the right shin to deepen the stretch. Whichever you choose, find a little rock left and right, massaging through the low hips. And then find some stillness. Soften the shoulders towards the ground. Relax the neck. Let your body simply be here. We tend to carry stress in our hips and in our shoulders. We focused on the hips today, but you also had quite a few times to bring in the shoulders and the neck. So as you move into this pose, I want to invite you to notice how you're feeling. Any emotions that have come up through your practice, maybe even any emotions that you're experiencing right now. See what it feels like to watch them as though you're watching the clouds go by, observing them without judgment, without attachment. On your next exhale, release your legs. Take your arms open to a T and just pause here for a moment, bringing the right foot all the way down to the ground. When you're ready, take your structure, your figure 4, all the way to the right side. Turn and look towards your left hand. Take a big inhale. And on your exhale, soften your left shoulder, relax your neck. And take a moment to notice how this side feels, observing the difference, feeling it without judgment. And begin your count backwards from 20 on each exhale, all the way to 1. When you arrive at 1, you can bring your knees back up. Uncross your legs, but keep your feet on the ground, knees facing up, and find some stillness. If you're already there, stay there. If not, go ahead and draw the knees back up, uncross your legs, both feet come down to the ground, and then draw your knees to your chest. Give yourself a loving hug. Take a moment in your hug and exhale, release your legs straight out. Option to bring your pillow under your head and your blanket on top of your body and get really cozy as we settle into Shavasana. Taking your time with any last movements that your body might be asking for, or taking your time to get into the coziest position you can possibly find yourself in right now. Once you get settled in, find stillness and start to bring your focus to the space where your body touches the ground. Take a deep breath in and a slow breath out. Noticing any sounds that you hear in the room. Observing any thoughts that are playing in your mind right now. And then bring your focus back to your breath. Notice any sensations in the body, anything that you can feel. That could be the blanket against your skin or your body against the yoga mat. It could also be inner. It could be a sensation in your foot, your hip, your shoulder. Notice what you feel here. And then observe how your emotions are doing. What's going on for you emotionally? How do you feel? See if, just like how you did with your thoughts, if you can observe the emotion and the feelings without attachment and without judgment. Bring your focus back to your breath and begin to count backwards from 20, relaxing your body down a little more on each exhale. Taking your time, and when you're ready, walking your feet all the way in, turning to one side, coming to fetal position. Use your bottom arm as a pillow. And take a moment of gratitude here. One thing you're grateful for about your body, one thing you're grateful for about your practice, and one thing you're grateful for about your life. When you're ready, press all the way up to seated, coming to a crisscross easy seat. Bring one hand to your heart and one to your stomach. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out of your mouth. Thank you for sharing this practice with me. It is my greatest joy and highest honor to be here with you today. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you next time.